Elina's boots crunched on the frost-covered path, the sound echoing in the crisp morning air. She pulled her bright pink beanie further down over her ears, a small puff of breath escaping her lips like a tiny cloud. "Gramps, my toes are starting to feel like icicles," she complained, though a smile played on her lips. Robert, or Gramps as she affectionately called him, chuckled, his breath misting in the air. "Nonsense, little snow bunny. Just a bit further, and we'll warm you up with a spectacular view and something even better." He winked, and Elina's eyes widened. She knew that wink. It meant a treat. Their destination was the summit of Mount Cinder, a gentle giant of a mountain that overlooked their small town. Elina had been begging Gramps to take her for weeks, and today, her wish had finally come true. The promise of hot chocolate at the top was a powerful motivator, even in the chilly morning air. The climb began easily enough, the path winding lazily through a forest of snow-dusted pines. Elina, despite her initial complaints about the cold, was soon captivated by the beauty of the winter wonderland. Sunlight filtering through the branches created a mosaic of light and shadow on the forest floor, and the only sounds were the crunch of their boots and the occasional call of a winter bird. As they ascended, the path grew steeper, and Elina began to feel the burn in her legs. She glanced at Gramps, who, despite his age, seemed to be moving with effortless ease. "How do you do it, Gramps?" she asked, panting slightly. Robert smiled. "Years of practice, my dear, and a love for the mountains." He paused, pointing towards the peak. "Almost there. Just imagine that hot chocolate waiting for us." The image of the steaming mug warmed Elina from the inside out, giving her a renewed burst of energy. She pushed herself harder, her eyes fixed on the summit. Finally, they reached the top. Elina gasped. The view was breathtaking. A sea of white-capped mountains stretched out before them, shimmering under the bright winter sun. The world seemed to stretch on forever, a vast and silent expanse of snow and sky. "Wow," Elina breathed, her earlier complaints forgotten. Robert pulled out a thermos and 2 mugs from his backpack. "Time for that reward I promised." The hot chocolate was rich and creamy, the perfect antidote to the cold. Elina wrapped her hands around the warm mug, savoring the delicious aroma. She sat beside Gramps, gazing at the magnificent panorama, a feeling of peace and contentment washing over her. This, she thought, was the best hot chocolate she had ever tasted, and the best adventure. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the snow, they started their trek back down. Elina, her hand tucked into Gramps's, felt a deep sense of gratitude. She knew that this day, this climb, this hot chocolate at the top of the world, would be a memory she would cherish forever.